Call to order the council meeting of March 25th. Can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Place your right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, could you call the roll?
A quorum is present.
Can we come to order, audience, please? We have a proclamation. April is National Poetry Month. In honor of National Poetry Month, we have here with us Malika Beckford, who will be performing a poetry piece. Immediately following the poem, we will present a proclamation. Ms. Beckford, performing as Eagle Nebula, blends literary poets and hip-hop inspired spoken word and live performances. Born and raised in Inglewood, California, she earned her bachelor's degree from Howard University and participated in the poetry scenes of Washington, D.C., New York City, Paris, and Ghana, West Africa, where she was a June Jordan Scholar. Beginning Sunday, March 31st at Darby Park, she will start the Inglewood Poetry Project, a free, month-long poetry writing workshop dedicated to generating poems about Inglewood, to be edited and collated into a printed anthology available in the public library and schools. This is a rare and wonderful opportunity for our citizens, our visitors, and other aspiring writers. Here to read her poem, Sweet City, in celebration of National Poetry Month, is J. Malika Eagle Nebula Beckford. Ms. Beckford.
Good evening, Council. It's wonderful to see you all here. I want to say thank you so much for this opportunity and for declaring National Poetry Month in Inglewood. Inglewood is my home. It's a beautiful place to me, and I've traveled widely, and there's always been nothing more lovely to me than to return home, to drive down Manchester, or to drive down Crenshaw, and to see the beautiful trees that have been with me since my birth. So thank you. With that, I bring you the poem, Sweet City. On Florence Avenue, heat holograms rise from parched sidewalks. Palm trees paused on a mid-century catwalk. All around, the spice of fresh-cut lawns laced with sunshine. Ice cream truck boombox spins sugar symphonies up the street and around the corner. Children fly and zip wheels of candied laughter down hills of sweet Inglewood. Hummingbirds sip nectar from flowered succulents. Cactus in perfect stance posed for a pic. Jacaranda blooms stain the sidewalk blow pop purple. Birds of paradise burst resilient in this desert soil. Bougainvillea petals glow in dusty places. City of gardener and bumblebee buzzing bird song, popsicle blue daylight Inglewood. Unwrap these vacant lots, our smoke screens, a cloak over our Kool-Aid gazes. Our faces dot the walls of color, swirled in this metropolis mural. Below a streak of airplanes, revealing bellies we can't touch, but try. Each day we rise and stretch toward the highs. Honey reflection in the mirror of the future's eyes. A neighbor's rose garden perfumes the atmosphere, and you can find me there floating on the donut air. Thank you.
Now, Ms. Beckford, in a moment, you're going to have to walk over there, and we're going to present you with this proclamation. And it reads as follows. Whereas the Academy of American Poets established the month of April as National Poetry Month in 1996, and whereas National Poetry Month seeks to highlight the extraordinary legacy and ongoing achievement of American poets, introduce Americans to the pleasures and benefits of reading poetry, bring poets and poetry to the public in immediate and innovative ways, and make poetry an important part of our children's education. And whereas poetry enhances and enriches the lives of all Americans, it's an essential part of the arts and humanities, affects every aspect of life in America today, including education, the economy, and community pride and development. And whereas poetry has produced some of the nation's leading creative artists, including Inglewood resident poet J. Malika Beckford, who is creating the 2014 Inglewood Poetry Project. The goal of the project is to bring poetry and poetry writing workshops to Inglewood's youth and adults. J. Malika Beckford is a 2013 Inglewood Growing Artists Project IGAP award recipient. IGAP is funded by the Inglewood Public Art Fund. Now therefore be it known that the mayor and council members of the city of Inglewood, California, do hereby proclaim the month of April as National Poetry Month in the city of Inglewood. Ms. Beckford, if you would come over here. Are the arts commissioners here, by the way? Any arts commissioners in the audience? Do we have? Oh, please, come forward. So now that the fun part is over, we get to public comment. Oh, there's something else? Oh, there's a presentation by Consolidated Disposal Services for the Recycling Rewards Program. I thought I saw Ms. Williams and Don Harris here.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of council. My name is Angela Williams.
Oh, and Mari Morales again. All right, go ahead.
My name is Angela Williams. I'm from the Public Works Department. We are pleased tonight to recognize some of Inglewood's finest residents. And by doing so, they have been exemplary in their recycling, in participating in Inglewood's recycling program. Ms. Don Harris from Consolidated Disposal Service is going to come up and explain what they did to receive a recognition tonight and a certificate. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome, Ms. Harris.
Good evening, Mayor and Council and staff. Just wanted to share a little bit about the Recycle Rewards program that we offer from Consolidated Disposal Service. It's just the easiest thing. It's one of those do what you always do, but you have to sign up. And all you have to do is call the office. Madi will enter you right into the system, and you'll be signed up as a participant in the recycling program. Make sure you put your recycling container out every week. You might not think it, but the drivers know things, and they can tell about, we call it set-out rates and participation and contamination. And we have 10 residents this evening that are here that we have determined to be the winners. They called in and signed up, so have been participating. The drivers were able to report that they put their recycling out most every week. There's no contamination, and it's good solid recycling. So if there's enough time, if you have a moment, we would like to call their names.
Please.
So that we can get a photo opportunity. Piedad Morales, you so much. Patricia Serna. Nancy Waller. Thank you. And Jim Withrow. So this is.
Jim.
And we want to thank you for walking the walk, not just talking the talk, taking it seriously. Thank you.
Grab them.
Vanessa Francis. Santos Gonzalez. Okay. And this could be even worth $175 a year because you get free recycling service. You get Ruby McCann. No? Rena Anderson. Bridget Scott. And Ramon Aguirre. Thank you very much. So can we have, thank you.
I'll bring them tomorrow. I was rushing.
And you guys, we need you to come in closer. That's why she's not here. Okay, folks, we're going to open public comment. Anyone who has a comment on anything on tonight's agenda may come forward and speak at this time.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes?
There are
We're going to
three-
pull item 5.
actually, Mayor, one additional one's come to my attention. The chief would like to pull,
What's that
the
again?
chief would like to pull C6 and C7, as well as the city treasurer wants to pull her item.
So 5, 6, and 7 are pulled on.
No, I'm sorry, 6 and 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on. Oh, okay, all right. So 6 and 7 are pulled.
And what about 5?
5 is on.
Yeah,
Okay.
And the treasurer's report, which is what?
CT1.
What's that?
CT1.
CT1 is pulled as well. So anyone wanting to comment on any item
So-
except
so Mayor,
consent,
just-
6 and 7 are pulled, and CT1 is pulled.
Thank you.
All right. Sir,
Yeah, my name is Alfonso Parker Jr. I'm a Vietnam veteran, 66, 67. I'm also a conscious objector, which means I killed no one. I went there with no weapon of any sort, and I'm alive. I'm here to speak on an issue that I think is relevant to this signs and large signs and advertisement.
But
to
it's
go-
going to have to be something that's on the agenda for today. Are you talking
Yeah,
about 01?
01.
Okay, all right. Go ahead,
Do I
sir.
get a few more seconds?
Of course you will. We always
Thank
do
you.
anyway.
You so
You
hard
always
on me,
go
so it's the
over.
first time
Go
you
ahead.
ever gave me anything.
Go ahead.
Anyway, a few weeks ago, you mentioned that Metro and all of these groups are working together to enhance the advertisement through Inglewood with these signs. And I think it's very important that in dealing with these funds that you have for that, you consider Cedar, which is a deadly street. Should be a single light there, not cross walks, not yellow blinking lights. Even the police have a tendency to want to hit you because nobody can see that. It's a deadly area. It's the only corner that's not illuminated with funds like it should be. And it's the only one missing a light from the other side of the 405, which is all the way past Crenshaw. It's the busiest corner with multiple hours and long hours and late hours of businesses. You need to take some of that money while you're building these signs and include some of it in putting a stop light at the only corner there isn't one, and have Metro, because you're dealing with them too, put that bus stop back. This will help alleviate that Indy Speedway from the 405 almost to La Brea.
Thank you, sir.
Gil Matthew, District 4, Mayor and Council. I'm speaking on payment of the bills and finance. Here again, I'm concerned about the financial condition of the city. And also, I'm concerned about our priorities. And I'd like for you gentlemen to write this specifically down. Now, check number 549-380, $35,000. Check number 549-389, $4,400. Litigation. And also write down 549-402, furniture. $8,232.35. Payment of the bills, general fund, non-departmental. A 30-inch, 6-foot brown rectangular table, 29 inches tall. Dear friend, City Council and residents of Inglewood, where are the priorities? It's not that it should not be done. It's not that we do not need furniture. But how many other things we need that's more important? And then we have $7,000 for basketball. And we had additional prior to that, $4,000 for Clipper uniforms. When the question was raised, they sent back $2,000, but nobody reported what happened to the other $2,000. See, these are the things that you can supplement the general fund, but you can't give away money and then say we need money and don't take care of elders and the young people. And all I'm asking for is a balance. And I'm in favor of all the public works and the police, things that's on the agenda. Those are important. And with that, gentlemen, I'm asking your due diligence to have someone seek out these payment of the bills and get the authority and validation. It doesn't make sense to this resident. Anybody else, I don't know. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Matthew. Mr. Fields, these Clipper uniforms, they part of the Parks and Rec program,
You're correct.
and don't we buy the uniforms in advance and so they're available for the residents to purchase for their children?
That's correct.
So it is for children, right? All right, thank you.
And Mayor, none of the items that he mentioned are on our warrant register.
Oh, and none of the things he mentioned are on the register? Okay, thank you. Welcome, Ms. Rose.
Thank you. Nice to see you again, Mayor Butts. I want to start off saying I support FY 2010, the Urban Area Security Initiative grant funds in the amount of $77,130. And with that, my name is Carol Rose, and councilmen and citizens, I'm running for a Superior Court judge position for the County of Los Angeles. And I'm here not only in support of the Urban Area Security Initiative, but also to tell you 2 minutes about myself a little bit. And I'm personally inviting the council members and the mayor to an event I'm having that's going to be kind of fun that is coming up. I've been a deputy district attorney for the County of Los Angeles for 34 years, and I've prosecuted thousands of violent and serious felons. When I was in Compton Court, I was in charge of the 3 Strikes program when 3 Strikes first came in. And that was an amazing, amazing new law that I've seen over my years has actually decreased violent crime. I've done civil law, and I've taught at UCLA Law School, Loyola Law School, and this is a time in my career where I think it's time to do something, use the experience I've had, the knowledge I've gained, and the humanity that I've seen over the years, and put it to use as a jurist. I've seen judges whom I admire greatly. I've also seen judges who don't research things, who start late, end early, are disrespectful, and my plan is to be a judge for the county that is a judge where lawyers enjoy themselves in a respectful manner in the courtroom. They experience a fair dealing, and litigants have access to the courts. I was the chair of the Judicial Procedures Commission appointed by one of the supervisors, Don Kanabi, and in that position, I was able to put child waiting rooms and self-help centers in every courthouse in the county. And that gives access to a lot of people who could not afford to otherwise bring their family law matters, child custody issues, things like that, to the courts. There's a full-time lawyer staffed in every courthouse for free legal services for people, and they're always bilingual. I'm starting to tell you that over the 34 years, I've probably done over 500 jury trials, well over, mostly child molestation, murders, and rapes. I specialized in that for about 15 years. And with that, gentlemen, may I bring an invitation to you
Why don't you
for an
do so?
event?
Why don't you give that to the Sergeant at Arms?
And my card, and if there's anything you want me to do for the city of Inglewood, I'd be more than happy to do that. The venue is different because we had to get a larger one, so now we want to fill the larger one. So if you RSVP, you'll find out the actual address.
Thank you, Ms. Rose.
Thank you for letting me speak to you.
Welcome. Welcome, Mr. Bimbo.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, City Council, and staff. I want to comment on consent calendar number 3, Parks, Recreation, Library Services. I am in favor of the TLC program there for giving the seniors an extra $214,808.87 for meals for our seniors and our senior programs that we have in the city. I am definitely behind that and approve of it.
Thank you, sir. Welcome, Ms. Sobrano.
Good evening. As a point of clarification, you pulled 5 and put it back on? Is it on or is it off?
No, 5 is on,
5 is on.
6 and 7 are off.
Okay, great. With regard to item number 5, I do have a question. The staff report discusses the addition of a police captain, which is actually probably going to be a promotion since we're eliminating another position. And it only speaks to the difference in the dollar value, rather than the new range, or if it fits into the range. So I would have appreciated to know what the dollar value of the range, is it still in the same, is it not? And, you know, we have always had a certain number for a particular reason. Did something change to do that? And yet I do realize that you did pull item that may have had something to do with that, item number 6. So I'm glad that that was pulled, because I do have an issue with significant, almost 100,000 change between last year and this year for one individual. So let's go on to item 01, the billboards, and 02. Last week, we discussed the concept of super graphics and how much money they're going to get us. And one of the issues was, when do residents ever have the opportunity to discuss what appears on them? And one of the comments was that super graphics and billboards are not allowed to do alcohol and a couple other things. And yet, as I cruised right past that great big new 3-sided forum thing, what do I see? But Coors, Coors, and Coors. 3 times. Last I heard, that qualified for a form of alcohol. So apparently we have either gave a dispensation and warm fuzzies to the forum to do that, or they somehow don't understand our rules. And I think that that needs to be clarified to one and all. And one group doesn't get to say alcohol's cool, oh, by the way, go gambling in Vegas too, while others are restricted. So if we want alcohol signs everywhere, that's cool. But it's not great for one person, one entity, one individual to be allowed to do that which others are not. And of course, we do have once again, the SEOs that we are probably going to spin off, even though you don't say that in this. And I, of course, will register once again that we need to carefully consider what the impact of all those decisions are. I don't know that we have. I'm thrilled that we put off CT1, and I'll get back to that later, because I don't think it's very clear in the staff report. So, with that, I'll be back.
My name is Willie A.G. I live in the beautiful city of Inglewood, and it's been proven tonight. I want to speak in favor of consent calendar number 3, tender love and care. I eat there maybe 2-3 times a week. I'm a senior citizen, you know. The food is very good, and I just, this amendment, I hope the council approves it, because, you know, I don't know if you know it, we got some happy seniors up there, you know. They're really happy. And the food is good, and proud to have tender love and care as, you know, supplying the food. And speak in favor of 01, 02. I hope these are approved, because I think it'd be good for the city of Inglewood. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. A.G. Welcome, Ms. Austin.
Good afternoon. Mayor, Mr. Matthew was mentioning that $7,000 for some uniforms, and I couldn't hear your explanation. Could you explain that again?
Okay. There are times when we operate programs out of Parks and Rec, and some of those are basketball programs. And the city will pre-purchase the uniforms and allow parents to buy them from the city. And we do keep a certain amount in inventory. We consider it part of our Parks and Rec program, and that's just the way it is. We spend money on our youth, and that's not a misuse of funds.
So you put up the money, and then the parents pay so much back?
Right. And
that's good. That's cool.
but we're not guaranteed that the entire inventory will be exhausted, and that's just the way it goes.
Oh, okay. I want to speak on 03. That's good to know about the kids thing. 03, I think that's a wonderful program, because Mr. A.G., he got to eat somewhere. He's a young bachelor.
That's consent
You
calendar
know,
3.
and yeah, he got to find somewhere. I see we added to the project. That must be you. But back to the TLC, that's a good thing. I think we need, I'm so glad that, Mayor, you did keep it. I mean, at one time, the council and the mayor we was losing it. But thanks to you and the council here, you found a way to help the seniors. And that's what I really care about is the seniors. The kids are already taken care of, but the seniors mean a lot to me. I grew up with my elderly people, you know, I care a lot for seniors. You know, but I want to thank you all for keeping that program and adding to the program so AG could eat, you know. And and another thing was mentioned too was the furniture. I think the furniture been coming up a lot. About to check with the furniture. I want to say one thing. Miss McDade, which is the mayor's assistant, was accused of remodeling her office. That's not true. I want to set the record straight. That furniture is 100 years old. Most of the furniture here is old. She did not get any new furniture. If they did, if you did buy furniture, it wasn't for no one on the 9th floor. I don't know where the furniture went. It probably went into the office, you know, for the council members, because you got to realize.
Ethel didn't go there either.
I don't know where it went,
Wow,
but
thanks a lot.
I mean, you
No,
guys.
it didn't.
I don't know
no,
what is.
Hey, Eric, you were in my office. How long is that thing?
Is it in your office? Maybe it's in
No,
the city
Ethel.
attorney's office.
No,
So where did the furniture go?
I don't know that any furniture is purchased. I don't know about any furniture.
You know about it? Well, you know what? Is it an old thing? It might be some old checks laying around here that couldn't get paid before you.
Hold on a second, Ethel.
Okay.
Is there any furniture in the check register this week?
Not in today's register,
Warrant
no.
register?
Warrant register, no, it's not.
Okay, there's no furniture in the warrant register. Thank you, all right.
Okay, so it's probably old stuff.
Yeah, it's probably old stuff.
Okay, so I just wanted you all to set the record straight, so at least we know it didn't go to the manager's
Thank you.
office. Thank you.
All right. I can get out of it. All right, is there any other public comment? All right, we close public comment. Item 1, we need to open the successor agency in the Housing Authority.
7th, a quorum is present.
Item 1, CSA 1 and H1.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council and agency members Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales. Franklin. Mayor Chairman Buds.
Aye. Item 2, CSA 2 and H2.
Approval of the minutes held for the following council successor agency housing authority for March 11th, 2014.
So move. Approval. Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council members, council and agency members Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Chairman Buds.
Aye. Consent calendar items 3, 4, 5, 8, and 9, and 10.
I so second.
Moved by Councilman Morales, seconded by Councilman Franklin, who was faster than you. Madam Clerk.
Council members Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. 01.
Staff report recommending adoption of an ordinance amending Chapter 12 of the Inglewood Municipal Code to include provisions to allow billboards on islands, triangular, and irregularly shaped cornered residentially zoned properties.
Motion to waive further readings.
Madam Clerk.
Council members Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye.
I'll adopt the ordinance.
Madam Clerk.
Was-
Oh, well, excuse
were you
me.
a second?
Okay, move
Okay,
adoption.
thank you.
Okay.
Ca-
02.
Well, wait, I have to take the vote on
Oh,
that.
who moved?
I move the adoption.
And
Madam-
he second.
Madam Clerk.
Council members Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. 02.
Staff report recommending adoption of an ordinance to amend Chapter 12 of the Inglewood Municipal Code to modify regulations related to super graphic displays.
Motion to waive further reading. Second.
So moved by Councilman Dotson, seconded by Councilman Morales. Madam Clerk.
Council members Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. Move adoption.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Council members Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales,
Aye.
Franklin,
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. 03.
Staff report recommending the adoption of an ordinance amending Chapter 3 of the Inglewood Municipal Code, expanding the city's authority to use other persons, including qualified and trained private sector company personnel, for parking enforcement services.
Motion to waive further reading.
Second, Madam Clerk?
Council members Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales,
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye.
Move adoption.
Second. Madam Clerk?
Council members Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales,
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. Did you get Councilman Franklin? Oh, he's not in the room. Okay, to DR1.
Staff report recommending approval of amendment number 3 to the Welfare to Work Vocational Intermediary and Direct Service Contract Number WTW 13-001 by and between the County of Los Angeles and the City of Inglewood, serving as an administrative entity for the South Bay Workforce Investment Board.
Move. Okay. Second. Seconded by Councilman Dotson. Moved by Councilman Morales. Madam Clerk?
Council members Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales,
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. A1.
Thank you, Mayor. CS1, which is a closed session confidential regarding the conference with labor negotiators. The negotiators for the city is Arden Fields, the city manager, and Jack Hoffman, chief negotiator, human resources. Discussions were held and no final action was taken. As to CSA3, closed session with a negotiator meeting regarding no property located at 6500 South La Cienega Boulevard in the city. Property negotiator is Artie Fields, the city manager, and negotiating party is Thrift Oil Company. Items under discussion were price and terms of payment. Discussions were held.
A2.
No comments, Your Honor.
CM1.
Mr. Mayor, I have no comments tonight.
CC1, Madam Clerk?
No comments, thank you, Mayor.
CT1 was pulled. No report by the city treasurer. Any persons wishing to address the council on any matter connected with city business not elsewhere considered on the agenda may do so at this time.
That was an interesting concept. Council members, not too long ago, some of you questioned what on earth happens when some of us function out in the community. And I thought I'd share just for fun and entertainment. This week I'll be spending time with the J. Paul Getty Museum. How about that? And there will be an exhibit featuring some great works that some of us helped put together in the not-too-distant future outside of our community. And that's because a lot of people appreciate the work that is done by the volunteers in this community. And I got to tell you, it's really unfortunate that it is in our community that we get bashed so frequently when we do so many really good things. So, I hope that I never have to come here and tell you that again, because that's not why we are here. We are here to conduct business for this community, not necessarily share what it is we do for the organizations that we are proud to represent everywhere else. And so, with that, I'm going to go back to one of the items that, as it comes forward again, with regard to the treasurer's item, I would hope that in the next staff report, it does indicate that it's not two separate and distinctly separate organizations, but that, in fact, Global Custody is a division of Bank of America. And it doesn't show that in the staff report. We have to know that in our heads. We have to be able to find that out on our own. So frequently when we come before this council and say, how come it doesn't say this, or how come it doesn't say that, when we go forward in years to come, it looks as if it is an unrelated entity, which it is not. So I would have hoped that some of you would have asked questions to clarify for anyone in the future who might be reading these things and may not have the opportunity 5 years from now or 6 years from now to recall something that is not in print, that we actually make the staff reports reflect information that is pertinent to the decisions that are made here every week.
Gil Matthew, District 4, Mayor and City Council, and residents of Inglewood. Now, we just witnessed when you bring an item, and they're going to automatically rebut what you say that it doesn't exist. And Mr. Fields, I'd be careful what you second the motion on, just because he's going to say, no, it's not there. Now, here's the check number. Find out if the check was cash, number one. The check number, 5494082. And I've given you a description of the item.
Yes, Mayor. I looked up
Just give me
the
my
three.
time back.
I'll pause it for you. I looked up the three checks that the Mr. Matthew brought up, and they were on the February 11th, 2014 agenda, not on tonight's agenda.
You see, the point I'm making, Mr. Mayor, is defer to council and get the facts. And don't try to neutralize what I'm saying. See, I do my research. I have lots of time on my hands.
Obviously. But anyway, what we're saying, it wasn't on tonight's warrant register, and that was the point we're making. So how could we?
Well, that's the difference, Mr. Mayor. Can I get an apology?
No, you don't get an apology. It wasn't on tonight's warrant agenda, warrant register.
I
So-
didn't say tonight. I gave
but-
you a check number.
Okay.
All right, but
All
anyway,
but
let's move on, let's move on.
Let's please move on.
Yeah, please give me a little time, you know.
I'll give you 3 seconds. Go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. Matthews.
Mr. Mayor, you a piece of work.
Thank you, sir.
Anyway, the point being, sir, you should review your comments. Now, last week, you had the last comment. Last week, you said, the state is responsible for all of the payments. Now, Mr. Mayor, you know better. The $1.2 billion is an outstanding obligation of the successor agency, and you decided to accept it. Now, we have a situation where it has to be recognized obligations. And if it's not, then it goes back to the city. So don't say, we could never pay the interest on that and that. Or defer to your counsel. You have adequate counsel. So please, refrain from your comments and have your counsel write down what the facts are. And we still need a meeting between the successor agency and the residents, because obviously you don't understand what's going on. We have 1484 and 36, and you're in violation of 1484. But see, you don't refer to counsel. It's okay to be the chairman of this and chairman of that, but when you don't know, don't jeopardize the city. You have a city attorney right here, and you violate actions of a normal situation with other council people. And they were polite, I guess, I don't know what it is, but they don't say anything. Anyway, Mr. Franklin, I'm proud of you. Okay? But we got to talk. You're the only one I can meet with. He don't want to meet, and nobody else want to meet.
Okay, Mr. Matthew.
But sometime
you
you
go as
gotta
long as
come
I
and
let you
meet.
go. Go ahead, Mr. Matthew. It's time up.
Well, thank you very much, man. It's good seeing you again.
Always good to see you, sir. And
Always a pleasure.
always good for the illumination.
Always a pleasure.
My name is Alfonso Parker Jr. I'm a Vietnam veteran, 66, 67, a conscious objector. I've been browbeaten you to death. I've had people wave their fingers in uniform with a cover on, which is an act of treason, should be court-martialed. but that's okay. I came back and I'm going to ram this down your throat now that I've been validated by a person a few weeks ago. Homeland Security visited me April 23rd in this council. I must be saying something that I shouldn't be saying. Now I'm going to tell you. The VA, NSA, if you read at all, it's a rogue, treasonous operation. It always has been. I hope that TV button is on. It ought to be put out of business. Any organization operates outside the Constitution, there is no reason, can never be. From the highest of the high, President, Commander-in-Chief, Secretary of Defense, Secretary of Treasury, to the lowest of the lowest sleeping in a gutter. Nobody can violate the Constitution of the United States. You can't justify it. That national security, the VA, Veterans Administration, Foreign Wars, all of them participating, disabled American veterans. I want a TV station now to come see us. I'm not a lone wolf. Talk to us, these advocates making $10 a dollar on these bounty hunter suckers. Come talk to us, the ones that did it. You come talk to us now. No more advocacies, no more nonprofits. I've got comrades. I'm not a lone wolf. Ohio, Las Vegas, Nevada. We're on the Vietnam War, conscious objectives that served this country well. Come talk to us now. I want a major station and a local. Come see me. 1131 Redondo, just west of West Boulevard on Redondo. JUCO's Youth Justice Coalition. Thursday nights, 7 to 9. My number's 323-842-3363. Leave a message. I'll show you. Bring the dirt they gave you. Another man's trash is another man's treasure. And all that fancy paperwork they spit out, their interpretation of who you are, bring it. I know a needle in a haystack on a gnat's ass. I'll decipher it for you. Come see me. It's my turn now. And I'm not scared of any NSA, CIA. If I can go and my God in front of me, who the hell am I scared of but myself? Come see me. Your grandfathers, you all know what I'm talking about. You've had the experience. Come see me. Bring your paperwork, that trash they put out.
Good evening, sir. Wow. Just here for just three brief announcements. April 10th, we will reconvene the MLK committee, and the reason is, Mayor, we want to start a little early. That we need to have a parade and all, and we want to do something really special for the city. And we need the time so that we can get the kind of donations and kind of money that's necessary that will not put a burden on the city. Secondly, I brought a special invite, and I already shared with Councilor Berdier. Anita Biggs, who is the American Legion Department Auxiliary President, is what we'll be celebrating her homecoming at Post 46. And she asked me to bring a special invite to you, Mayor, and the council to come out and celebrate her homecoming. This is a unique situation because there's only been 2 African-American women to be president for the American Legion in the state of California. And last, I'm serving presently on the American Legion County Council for Law and Order. Well, I've had the opportunity to nominate one of our city's finest, and I've given the information to the chief to give us a nominee of a person or persons who have shown valor, that we will have what we call a cheeseburger festival in Post 496 in Long Beach on May the 17th. I have invites, and I know you believe in the police and law enforcement, and we like to come out and honor those, especially from our city. And if we are selected, then they also will be recognized for the state of California. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, and staff. My name is Stuart Bailey, and I just have one interesting question from a comment that was made earlier. The successor agency owes $1.2 billion with a B. My comment on that is, if that's true, then how come the federal government isn't sitting in these chairs? Because you got the national debt that's in billions. So where is this person coming up with this $1 billion? Come on. I mean, I've heard of melodramatics. I've heard of overstating the facts. But man, you put it out there, you know? And like I said, even Obama would love to hear that kind of number because he would send every accountant from the IRS to this chamber saying, how did y'all do that kind of debt? So I know for a fact, since there's nobody from the federal government walking around here, FBI, CIA, NSA, or anything, and I walk the city every day. So it's got to be a little bit, let's just take it down a notch. It can't be that $1 billion in this city. Even the city of Bell had crazy numbers, but ain't nobody in the United States, if you're not a federal agency, building up that kind of debt, okay? So let's calm down. Let's stop crying wolf, and let's get some real facts going on for the city, please. Those are my comments. Thank you, and everyone have a great evening. And it was a great evening event last night for the Cancer Society. Thank you.
We'll close public comment. Oh, I'm sorry. Ms. Austin? I didn't see. Right. Yeah, but. Mr. Byrd, please don't do that again. Please. Thank you, sir.
Okay, I'm back on this $1 billion too. I want to know how are we abreast with 1.2 billion? Why the city is still here? What's up with that? Could you tell us what's going on with this $1.2 billion? How do we owe this? Please explain it to the people. Please. How are we here? We couldn't afford the interest on that, could we?
If you owed $1 billion at 5% interest, that'd be $50 million a year in interest-only payments if you owed $1 billion. Our general fund budget's somewhere between 79 and 85 million a year on a good year, which would mean if we were paying 50 million a year in interest, we couldn't even afford the police department.
Okay.
If we owed $1 billion, all right.
My God, I mean, we need to leave this billion thing alone. The reason why I'm saying this, I'm gonna make a comment, because I'm telling y'all the truth. Last week, I came up here and I told you an incident that happened. Would you believe, I'm not lying neither, 5 people saw this on YouTube. I'm talking about some employees, regular people, saw what I said, heard what I said, and they listened to what I said. Do you know, I've seen one in the street, 3 people called me and told me who it was. I'm just saying this to make a point. People are listening. The voters are listening. This is election time. I got a call for Wendy. I'm not helping nobody. Nobody but one person. And that's that mayor sitting right there that moved this city. Because he appreciates what we do. He's trying to improve this city, and he's doing it. And about the form with the Coors thing, what's the big deal about a beer sign? If it's not cigarettes, it's no big deal. Now, cigarettes, I don't think no one should advertise. But a Coors beer, if you sit there, why not? I don't think it has nothing to do with the residential areas on the corners where the beer or whatever gonna be. I don't think that the council would sit up here and let a billboard go into a residential corner area where kids are, or schools, and allow tobacco and liquor on a billboard. I don't think you all would vote and put nothing like that in the neighborhood. And I know you smarter than that. Because all of you all got PhDs, physical high school diplomas. I got one. All of us in here got one. So I'm just saying, guys, I mean, I got a PhD. I got my physical high school diploma, you know. But I don't see a big deal about beer or whatever at the farm, being that it's a big, huge entity of its own and it sells beer. And it's not in the residential, it's over there, yeah, it's in the residential area, Inglewood Cemetery. Who cares? Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Ms. Austin.
My name is Willie A.G., and I live in the beautiful city of Inglewood. And we're on our way. First, I want to thank this council for coming here, taking care of city business in a decent hour, and letting the people go home. You know, you come here, you have your say. People out there in television land, they looking at me right now. So, you know, and that's a good thing. But I don't really have anything to complain about. But I am getting sick or tired of this $1 billion. I could say some things about this, but you know something? I'm a peaceable man. But if it continues, I'm gonna have to get up here and say some things that I know for a fact. And you know, keep up the good work, council. I'm proud of you. I just don't think you could do any better job than you already done. You're working together, you know, and staff, you know, I just take my hat off to you. You know, people are happy here now. Even 90% of the audience is happy. That other 10%, I don't care what you do, they're not gonna be happy. They're gonna still complain. You know, 18 years I've been coming here, and the same people been coming here complaining about everything. They still doing it, and they still not accomplishing anything, but I think they just like to be on TV, you know, and, but I watch them. They don't look good. You know, they should put some makeup on, some of them. You know, if you want to be a movie star, you got to look like one. Thank you very much.
Okay, with that, we will close public comment. Any council comments? Councilman Dotson?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a couple of things. First District, Town Hall meeting. Save the date, Saturday, April 26th, from 10 to 12. First Church of God, 9550 Crenshaw Boulevard. Second Town Hall meeting will be held on Saturday, May 3rd, 12 to 2, at Maranatha Church, 1123 Redondo Boulevard. Relay for Life, June 7th and 8th. I'm going to be forming a team. First District, the team will be First District Team Dotson. If you're in the sound of my voice in your First District, please call my office, talk to my assistant, tell them you want to be on my team. We want to really do a good job this year for the Relay of Life. Telephone number to my office, area code 310-412-8602. My phone should be jumping off the hook tomorrow morning. Mayor, I would like for you to close this meeting in honor of my friend, Tracy Arbaugh. He's a 39-year resident here in the city of Inglewood. He's a veteran of the United States Air Force, and he was president of the Block Club on 2nd Avenue for 19 years. So if you would do that, I'd appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Councilman Padilla?
Thank you, Mayor. A couple of quick notes. I just want to thank all of you, and especially the mayor, the council members, city staff, and some of you that were out there, coming out last night to support the Relay for Life kickoff event. It was a huge success, and again, thank you for taking time out of your night to support Relay. On another note, a couple of save the dates. You know, a lot of you are getting through all your paperwork to do your taxes if you haven't already, and you're finding paperwork that you need to get rid of. We're going to be having a shred event at the ICOP Center at La Brea and Centinela. It'll be on Saturday, April 19th from 9 to 11:30 with the assistance of Republic. Will be helping us with the truck there, so you can stand there and watch your stuff get taken care of. Another save the date is the District 2 Town Hall meeting, which will be held here downstairs in the community room. It'll be on a Thursday evening, May the 8th, that's a Thursday evening, at 6:30. So please put that on your calendar. I just want to wish one of my neighbors in the Heights of Ladera area, Jolene Spalding, is celebrating his 90th birthday, and just want to wish him the very best and many more. That being said, also please enjoy your Cesar Chavez Day this coming Monday. Enjoy that holiday. Cesar Chavez did so much for so many, and please take a moment to remember him and his family in your thoughts and prayers. With that, Mayor, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Franklin.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I, first of all, want to reach out to Faithful Central Bible Church and thank them for their efforts on the Covered California enrollment event. It was well attended. They also provided educational information, but more importantly, they enrolled the residents right there on the spot, and the medical plans they were able, based on their ability to pay. And so it was an outstanding activity, well planned. There was even a representative that came from the White House on behalf of Barack Obama, our president, to reinstill the efforts and support of that program. I also want to thank the residents that took to heart about recycling. You saw that the 10 families that was here this evening, that they were, in fact, and it's easy to do. You do it all the time about what you put in the blue bins. It's a mere fact to simply acknowledge that you want to be on that list as one of the qualifiers to participate, and you've heard them receiving a 1-year recycling on behalf of the Republic at no charge. The other thing I do want to thank the residents, this past Saturday, we rolled up our sleeves and that we were at Woodworth Elementary School where we were painting the campus, and before we could even start our area that we pre-identified we were going to do, we had to remove graffiti. This Saturday, we're going to go back, and now we're going to do planting of a number of shrubberies and flowers, etc. So if you'd like to join us, we'll be there from 9 to 2. And the location is 3120 West 104th Street, again, Woodworth Elementary School. And finally, Mayor, I will ask that you close in honor of Crystal Ray, that's R-A-E Sims, S-I-M-S. She is the daughter of Robert and Lee Sims that has been a longtime resident on 3rd Avenue. They had moved out of the city a few years ago, but their daughter had passed unexpectedly. She was a graduate of Morningside High, also a graduate of UCLA, and was in the law offices of USC during her final years that she was called home. And so my heart goes out to the family and the loved ones that all knew her well. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman Morales.
Thank you. First, just thank you, everybody, for coming out. Just wanted to point out, I wasn't able to make the Cancer Relay Walk meeting that Councilman Padilla put together yesterday, but District 3 will definitely be having a team this year. It's been a couple of years since we did that. It's always a great event, just a fellowship, just to kind of get to know each other. We're there all day long, pretty much all night. So it's a great time for the residents to talk to us about whatever they want to. But it's a fun event, so if anybody in District 3 or anybody else wants to walk on our team, we always have a great turnout. You can give us a call at 310-412-8603. Just talk to myself or Jaime. We'd love to have you on the team. Other than that, I want to point out, thank Bishop Johnny J. Young, who invited all of us to breakfast this morning. They're having their convocation this month, which is when all the Pentecostal churches get together from the Southern District. And, it was nice of him to get us out there and kind of teach us what's going on. Other than that, I just want to say thank you very much for coming out.
Thank you. I wanted to comment briefly about the warrant register and the furniture that Mr. Matthew was concerned about. I don't know what those particular pieces were purchased for, but I will tell you this City Hall was opened in 1974, and that's 40 years ago, and there's still furniture from 40 years ago. Councilman Padilla's desk is one of those, and he has a monitor from at least 30 years ago. But the reality is that furniture breaks. It's part of the cost of doing business. We also have employees that become injured because we don't have ergonomic furniture. And when they go to the doctors order different desks, different keyboards. So it is part of doing business. We will have to buy furniture. The furniture is not luxury furniture, but for someone to be so unreasonable as to think that you can operate a business that employs over 650 people, that's been in this building for over 40 years, and that you will never buy furniture, I don't know what you want for your employees. These are your employees. I had the honor to, I wanted to tell you that the State of the City address will be on April 10th at the Forum, and there are tables that are being purchased by community businesses that will sponsor residents, and so we hope to see a lot of residents there at no cost. There are seats that are in the $20 range for people that don't want to eat but just want to attend the event. It's a fundraiser for the Chamber. It's held every year. It's usually held outside the city. Now, proudly, we're going to have it in the city of Inglewood, and so we're proud of that. I had the honor to attend the funeral for James Lofton. He was a principal at Hillcrest, and he had a daughter that's a Navy pilot. He was a bossless, which is the president for the last 3 years of a fraternity. There was standing room only. He was just so well respected, and it's so sad to see someone so vibrant at 54 pass away, almost 54. He was 53, actually. And so we closed the last meeting in his name, and we're closing this meeting in the name of Tracy Allen Arba and Crystal Ray Sims, and we're adjourned.